And all right, YouTube. So this was an impromptu live stream. So pardon, y'all will see the TikTok camera in the shot. It is what it is. I really wanted to share this with you. As I was just explaining to TikTok, that this is something that women have struggled with for so long. I have seen women who are literally in institutions against their will because they have tried to unalive themselves due to the pain of loving a man who does not love them back the way they need. Okay, so this is something that's very serious. And men who watch this, I hope y'all feel bad. I really do. I hope y'all feel convicted in Jesus' name, and you realize that this is not a game. You don't want anyone to play with your daughter like this, because one day karma will come. One day karma will come. Okay, because vengeance is mine, saith the Lord, and you will have a daughter, and then you're gonna see. Okay, this is not a game to be played. But tonight I'm going to be talking to the ladies specifically, and I'm telling you why this happens, so that you know exactly how to protect yourself and you get the best results possible. Okay, so comment ready if you are ready. Like I said, when you comment, the algorithm sends it to more people. I'm just being straight up. And so just comment ready, and this will push, it will double the numbers in like seconds. You'll see. Okay. So tonight I'm going to be talking about why you keep ending up with men who don't love you the way that you love them. And I'm going to start out by describing what you're going through, so that you can know that you know that you know that I'm not bluffing, and I literally know about your specific situation. Okay? Your specific situation. And I want to look at, I think it's this one. I want to, there's a couple things I wanted to reference. I think it's this one. Give me 1 second, y'all. I promise it's going to be worth it. If you're watching the replay, you can just skip ahead a couple seconds. But I want to make sure I do not leave anything out that I want to share with you guys. And I had made some notes before. I think it's this one. Okay. Come on, let me this one. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay, so this is the situation that you're experiencing, and I want you to know that this is your situation, so you know you're not wasting your time watching this. So comment the number correlating with the number that I'm going to give you, and you could see how many of these 10 apply to you, okay? So drop a 1 in the comments if you meet men who seem really interested at first, they're texting, making plans, and then suddenly their energy changes, okay? Drop a 1 in the comment if this is something you've had happen multiple times, okay? Number 2, you find yourself checking your phone more times than you really care to admit. You're like, oh my God, did he message me? Oh my God, did he message me? And you wonder if he's going to reach out. That's a 2. So you're going to drop a 2 in the comments. And you could do this on the replay even. Drop in the comments, because it's going to keep you accountable on how many you have, okay? Number 3, if you've ever told yourself, well, maybe he's just busy, or, maybe he's going through something. I know he did just have a breakup, or I know work is really whatever. But your spidey senses is like, something's not right. That's a 3. Okay. Number 4, you read and reread and read and reread and reread and reread text messages trying to figure out what he meant. You have screenshotted them, put them in ChatGPT, asked your friends, you've ruminated over it, and you're like, am I reading into this? Am I tripping? Okay, that's 4. Number 5, some days though, he gives you attention. Some days he makes you feel amazing. Some moments he makes you feel amazing. That's 4. And other days he disappears. He pulls a Casper. Like, you don't get a text, you don't get a good morning, you don't get a good night. You just, okay, that's a 5. Number 6, you look inward. You're like, you know what? I'm introspective. I'm not so arrogant to think that I'm perfect. Like, maybe I did something. Let me look. Did I do something to make it pull away? Like, my breath. Like, you look inwardly to see if you did something to make him pull away. That's 6. Okay. 7, you say, well, maybe I just need to give him space. Maybe I'm coming on too strong. Maybe I just need to give him some space. And I know I've read this, that men need space and they don't like pressure. Okay, maybe I just need to give him space. Number 8, comment 8, if this is you, when you tally it up and you think about the amount of time you spent analyzing his behavior, trying to understand why he does what he does, trying to make it make sense, compared to the amount of time you spent actually enjoying the relationship, scales do not tip in your favor. Okay, this is time spent analyzing. That's an 8. Time spent enjoying. Okay. Number 9, you feel emotionally invested. Something about you is drawn to this guy, but the situation makes you anxious. Your nervous system is a wreck. That's number 9. And finally, number 10, this is the most difficult one. You're actually embarrassed about how much the situation is affecting you, especially because you haven't known him that long. Drop a 10 if you low-key feel embarrassed admitting just how much this guy gets under your skin. If you could just turn off a switch, you would, but it's not happening and you're feeling it. Okay? She said 10, 10, 10, 10, 10 times. So I want you to write the word 10, T-E-N, if all 10 apply to you or darn near all 10. Okay? And put T-E-N. And I want you to look. And I'm going to sing a lyric. You are not alone. Okay? You are not alone. So you are not crazy. You are not imagining things. This is an epidemic. But you guys have power. Okay? So I want you to put in the comments power. I want you to flood this comment section with the word power. You can put the flex emoji. You literally have so much power you just didn't know. That's where your big sis, your auntie, comes in. You have so much power over the situation. You have no idea. She said his name is Power. Okay? Now, I want you to think about times like this. You sit on the couch, you're staring at your phone, you're wondering if you should text him, you're rereading old messages where he seemed like he was interested back then, you're trying to figure out what changed, you're going through the timeline, like, where did you're like that gif with all the little math numbers, you're telling yourself, I'm not going to think about him today, and then all day long, you're thinking about him. When his name pops up on your phone, you get this rush of excitement, you're embarrassed that you're that excited, you're like hurtling over couches to get to him because he has a special ringtone. You know it's when it's him. Okay. Yeah, you block him and then unblock him. How about this one? You convince yourself, I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna be outside, and you know what? I'm just gonna turn up, and all you're doing is checking your phone the whole night. Your friends are like threatening to take your phone. Girl, you don't put that phone down. He doesn't deserve you. You're a queen. You're like, right? How about this one? Before you go to bed, you're like, oh my God, he didn't text me. Let me make sure. Did I leave is my phone charged? Is it frozen? Okay. So if this does not apply to you, this is not your live stream. This will be a waste of your time. If this does not apply to you, this is not your live stream. Thank God. This is not your portion. But for the ladies who it does resonate with, this is going to absolutely help you. You tell yourself all the time you're going to emotionally detach, but the moment he reaches out, your hope comes right back up. You try to act calm when you see him, but in reality, you're wondering if he still likes you. You are obsessed with him if you're really being honest. You're embarrassed to even tell your friends what's going on. You lay in bed wondering what the bleep is wrong with me. Why do I care this much about somebody who gives me breadcrumbs? Pull up a couple of chairs and bring snacks, please, January. Okay? We got some girls here. What is going on? Now, comment yes if you have experienced this. And I want you to let me know what happens in your physical body, because I need you to understand this is beyond your emotions. This starts to happen in your physical body. Tell me some of the physical symptoms you have experienced when you are stressed out like this. Some people have said panic attacks. Some people said diarrhea, stomach problems, yeah, feeling sick, hair falling out, having difficulty concentrating on work, really having a hard time showing up as a mother, patient and calm and loving, trouble sleeping, constant anxiety, okay, heart racing, chest being tightened. This is not, look around. Binge eating, some people can't eat. This is beyond emotions. This is physically affecting your body. And if you get enough stress, you can become actually ill, right? You can get ulcers. This is a real thing. This is a really big deal, which is why I come on here and I do this free masterclass. I need you to understand this. And what's worse is that if you really pay attention, the men have already warned you. They've warned you that they're about to waste their time. You ready for this? This is what they say. Things like, I'm just really busy right now. Cortisol spikes. Yes. I'm just really busy. Or how about this one? I'm just not in a space for a relationship. I'm just not ready for a relationship. Maybe I just got out of one. I'm just not in a relationship. Okay. How about this one? I don't want to hurt you. How about you? I could tell you deserve a lot more. I could tell you're a great girl and you really deserve someone great. How about I just need space. I'm dealing with a lot right now. How about this one? Let's just see how things go. How about this one? Why are you putting pressure on this? Why are you trying to put labels on it? I don't like labels. Look at my fridge. There's no labels in my fridge. I think this is, I don't know. I think that you're a chemist. No labels. I think this is chlorophyll, right? I don't believe in labels. Or I'm just not good at, I've never been good at relationships. How about this one? You're amazing. I just can't give you what you want. I just know I can't give you what you want. Or I'm still figuring things out. You know what this is? What he's saying is, I'm telling you in advance, I'm about to waste your time, and I have the audacity to actually let you know up front. You're going to feel it in my energy because you're a woman. You're going to feel the energy. You're going to notice exactly when it shifts and when it fades. But I'm actually so ballsy, I'm going to tell you to your face. Because I don't have to lie to you. Why? Because if you're in your feelings, you'll lie to yourself. So I am so bold, I'm going to tell you to your face. And you know why I'm doing that? I'm not being kind to you. I'm doing it because I want to feel like I have a clean conscience later when you come to me crying and sniveling and accusing me. I don't want to feel like an a-hole. So if I say this, I'm sorry for being triggering. I should have a trigger word. I'm not kidding. It's really triggering. If I say this, I can give myself a pass later. But I told you. Yeah, but I felt it. But I told you. This is why I tell my male friends and my son, I don't care what a woman says. I don't care if she begs you to have a situationship. Ethically, do not enter into a situationship because women are biologically not wired to have commitment relation interactions without the commitment, without covenant. Ethically, it doesn't matter what a woman says because we are wired with emotions. We are by default emotional. We have to push past emotions to get to logic. Men tend to be more logical and they have to push past their logic to get to emotions. That's why it's hard for them to emote. It's not bad, it's not good, it's neutral. So if you understand that women, you blame us for this, but then you don't want to act like you know this. You know that we are emotional. You accuse us of being emotional. You blame us for being emotional. And then all of a sudden when it suits you, you want us to be logical. Well, I told her she's a grown woman. I don't care. What were you just saying on that podcast last week? When you were tapped into that you're too sensitive, well, take that too sensitivity and apply it right now. Because I know how sensitive you as women are, I'm not going to D you down, knowing I have no intention of ever putting a ring, let alone a label on it. Have some balls, men. Yes, I said it. I said it from my chest. And I'm standing 10 toes down with my pedicured toes. Stop trying to give yourself an out later because your conscience, everybody has a little bit of God in them so they can feel it. Your conscience is weighing you down. That's why you say that word vomit. You're not trying to prepare. I know you deserve better. If you know she deserves better, stop trying to bend her over. You don't want her to put pressure on you, don't put pressure on her uterus. If you need time, take some time before laying her down. If you want to see where things go, let's see where the altar is and let's get married. If you're really busy, well, then focus on what you need to do and leave me alone. If you're not ready for a relationship, then why are you trying to have relationship benefits? If you don't want to hurt her, then why are you about to do it? If she deserves someone better, then why are you here? If you just need some space, why are you trying to get in the space between her thighs? If you're dealing with a lot right now, then you should probably get therapy and Jesus in the reverse order. If you want to see where things go, that means you're not a leader. Take the leadership role. You don't follow. Yes, I'm going to call men out because I'm about to step on the women's toes. I'm going to call men out first. You are supposed to be leaders, but God, the woman you sent me. No, stop. Don't shift the blame. Do not shift the blame. A leader is responsible for himself. That's like the teacher saying, well, these unruly kindergartners, ma'am, you're the teacher. You want to act like we're children? You're the teacher. You're the leader, allegedly. Where are you leading her? You're leading her to hell, sir. I wasn't here for the men. I'm sorry, I got a little caught up. I'm not here for the men. I'm here for the ladies. Okay. Just so you know, ladies, all the things that I just told you, that's why they say it, to give themselves the out. So when you hear any of those things, because it's God's order, that's why she needs to be led. That's God's order. That take it up with God, not me. When you hear a man say this thing, and or his energy starts to change, you do two things. One, you thank him profusely. You thank him profusely. You thank him profusely, and God. You thank him profusely. Second, you look for the nearest exit and run. Run. Forrest Gump. Run. Okay? You thank him profusely because I gave you the cheat code, so now you know he just gave you the heads up ahead of time. Okay? And then thank God and run. Do not look back. Don't be like Lot's wife. Don't turn around. You run. Do not look him in the eye because you will get sucked into the vortex. And then he'll get into you. Okay? Do not look him in the eye. You do not negotiate with terrorists. He says, I don't believe in We don't finish that conversation. We don't, well, what do you mean? I'm really busy right now. Oh, I wish you the best with that. No attitude, no rage, no spiraling, no, you genuinely thank him. Oh my God, it is so amazing that you were so transparent. God, thank you, Jethro. Roger that. Thank you. You're not good at relationships. Golly, thank you for telling me. Thank you. Okay. Now, let me explain to you. I told you why you end up loving men more than they love you. Do you want the tough pill to swallow first, or do you want the part that makes men look bad? Which one do you want? Do you want the tough pill? Because here's the thing. You're part of the problem, but the power is that you're also part of the solution. If you're part of the problem, that means if you correct your side, you're also part of the solution. Okay? You want the tough pill? You're like me. I want the tough pill first. Okay. You guys are in agreement. So tough pill. This is where you pull your big girl panties up to your chin, because it's not going to feel good. Okay? Pull them up like really high and comment BGP. That's big girl panties. Okay? This is my big girl panty tribe. If you cannot listen to my live stream, just like I got all up in the men, this is going to sting. Okay? The reason why you don't walk away Because if you're honest with yourself, your spidey senses told you that he was on some BS. Your spidey senses told you. Every client I've ever coached says, I saw the red flags. Okay? I saw the red flags. The reason why you ignore your spidey senses, which are literally divine leadings, divine intuition, divine, and sometimes it's not even that deep. He literally said, I don't want that relationship. Okay? But you have him actually telling you, or divine, or sometimes both. The reason you have a hard time walking away is because we got to go back. Every child learned what love looks like. Right or wrong, incorrect or correct, every child learned what love is supposed to look like. By the way, if you're not following me, please follow me so I don't get lost in the vortex after this live stream ends. Okay? If you dare to hear the truth, because I'm telling the truth that most dating coaches won't say because it doesn't make sales. They're gonna gas you up, be like, "You're a queen, yes. He doesn't deserve you, yes." And they're gonna do book tours and sales and courses, and you're gonna be just as stuck next year. Okay, so if you dare to listen to somebody who's gonna hurt your feelings, but then I'll come in and Gucci goo you right after, then you're gonna want to follow me. Okay, because I'm just no chaser. Well, I try to give you a little chaser. As a child, you learn through caretakers what love looks like. In a perfect world, your caretakers are aligned with God, and therefore they look like God. Okay, we're supposed to be so witnesses of Him that if someone looks at you, it's almost like they're looking at God. What is God? Unconditional love. What is God? Forgiving. Okay, unconditional, forgiving. It is sacrificial. God didn't say, oh, as long as you don't have a headache. Okay. So most people have human parents who are flawed, human caretakers who are flawed, and they learn love is conditional. If I get good grades, I'm going to be in mom and dad's favor or my caretaker's favor. If I don't cause problems, I'm going to be in mom and dad's favor. Okay. Or maybe you had a sick sibling. Oh, if I'm injured and I'm really helpless, then I'll get more attention, which translates to love. Okay. Maybe you were chubbier than your sibling. If I lose weight, I can, right? So you learn that you earn. Oh, if I do really well in sports, then I get a lot of attention, which translates to love. So I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I do not mean to trigger. I do not mean to trigger. But this is very tough what we're going to talk about. But sometimes we need the pain to get the breakthrough. Okay. So I hope you can stick with me. But thank you for sharing that you're triggered. It's a very safe space. Let's do some heart hands, okay? Do some heart hands. Let's set the space. Let's reset the space and give her support because this is a community. And sometimes, depending on where we are in our healing journey, it could be really, really triggering. Not the big thing. That's so cool, okay? So if you grew up learning the incorrect truth, the incorrect fact that love is conditional, love must be earned, love is temporary, or maybe you had a parent when they weren't happy with you, they pulled back their energy. They had a little bit of an attitude. They were less warm. You didn't get a hug that night. You didn't get a kiss that night because they were mad at you. They didn't drive you to school because you pissed them off. You spilled the cereal, whatever, right? You learn that love is conditional. Now that little you, she stays inside of you. We never leave the little child. That little child is still in us. Our physical body just grows. But emotionally, we are still stuck in what we learn as children. Train up a child in the way they should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. That's good or bad, right? Like that negative, that stuff, that sticks with you, right? So that's God telling you who wired us. Like you're stunted, yes, okay? So this little girl learned that love is conditional. It must be earned, and if you're a good little girl, then you're going to get crumbs. Oh, I got a little crumb. You see where I'm going with this? That little girl in you learned, if I'm a good little girl, if I'm good long enough, oh, I might get a little crumb. Ooh, ooh. Who said men are bad? Who said men are bad? Brian. Don't say you can't teach men, you can't teach women that men are bad. Where did I say men are bad? Rewind this. It's live on YouTube. You can rewind the tape. Find the part where I said men are bad. Anybody who knows my channel knows I am the biggest champion of men. I think men are the most precious creatures ever. Do not get it twisted. Do not come on here not hearing the whole thing. So you can retract it if you would like, but do not come on here misquoting me. I did not ever say men are bad. I think the opposite. I described a specific behavior of men who intentionally are using women. Anywho, class, let's get back to it. So you learn that if I'm a good little girl and I work really, really hard, I might get some crumbs. Okay? So how does this translate to dating? You meet a man, and we're not going to talk trash about Martin. Okay? We're not going to talk trash about Martin because then we're no better. We're not going to do that. Okay? So, and here's the thing. It's triggering to people. Just like the woman said it was triggering, he was triggered. That was how he responded. He was triggered. He didn't know to say I'm triggered. He knew to accuse. That's what people do when they're defensive, when they're triggered. I know this. That's why I know he's not a bad person. He was triggered. He heard men are bad because he probably does these things and he doesn't want to be seen as bad. But it is bad to do those things. So you're not a bad person, but you are behaving badly if you do those things. And if it's triggering, good, because that means you can change. Just like the women who are triggered, they're going to be changing too. Okay? This is a safe space for men and women. I don't have animosity towards men, and I love women. So, but we're going to be kind. We're not going to be flippant. We're going to be kind. We're not going to be flippant. We give what we want to come back. That's why I was firm, but I wasn't nasty. I don't mind people being firm with me. Just don't be nasty. There's no need to be nasty. Okay? So that's okay. See? And he said, sorry. See? I'm telling you, people are good if you just treat them with respect. So the woman in you, the little girl in you, she's looking, she's following patterns she was taught. The brain is wired that it follows patterns. This is okay. I had an encounter with a snake. It hurt me. Okay, cool. We learned snakes are bad. So we learned this about love. We learned this about people. We learned this about weather. We learned this about water. And your brain neutrally just takes in information. So you believed that love comes through perseverance. And that it's not ever going to be consistent. It's just going to be dropped to you in a little bird feeder, right? A little medicine dropper. So what happens? That's normal for you. Your brain seeks out what's familiar. Think about this, right? When you go to another country, let's say you're in the Middle East and all you're hearing is like Hindu and like all these, languages you've never heard, Arabic. And all of a sudden you hear, hey girl, what's up? Not only do you hear English, but you hear a black accent. You're like, oh, sister, right? You're going to perk up. Your ear is going to perk up. If you hear your child say, Mom, it doesn't matter if you're in a crowded Walmart, you're going to hear your name because it's your child's voice, right? Our brain is wired to seek out and respond to that which is familiar. So when you're dating, what is familiar is I strive really hard and then I get a little medicine dropper of love. Yay! And then I work really hard and I might get 2 medicine drops. Yay! I got a text message. You went missing for 2 weeks, but I got a text message. Yay! You haven't talked to me for 3 days, but you clicked on my story. Yay! Okay, I got my story like. Your brain registers that this is familiar. Now, that's why you keep going back to the pig pen. You keep eating the poison because your mind is wired for that. You don't feel shame. This is not for shame purposes. I'm just telling you why it's happening, okay? That's like somebody trying to touch their eye and their eye keeps blinking. You don't feel shame because you blink. You just didn't understand like your eye is designed to close if something gets close to it. So it's normal for you to blink if somebody's coming towards your eye. Don't feel badly because I just explained to you how your nervous system is wired. No shame. Okay? Can you guys comment that? No shame. Because even though I say it, people are like, oh my God, I feel so stupid. No. We're not going for stupid. We're going for truth. And you don't feel shame when you find out you do better. You do better. Now you know you do better. Okay? So we're gonna pause. That's on you. Now we're gonna switch over to what's on them. Okay? On the men's side, their natural sin nature, I'm going to go there. I'm a Jesus freak. I'm not ashamed of it. Let the numbers drop if they want to, but the truth is going to set you free. Your sin nature, men's sin nature, all of our sin nature is get the most for the least. All of us, all humans, get the most for the least. Free stuff. Okay? You guys, if I told you the exact same stuff that this is helping you, I don't have to ask you to come and help. This is helping you. If I told you it was going to cost you $10, most of you be like, nah, I don't know it like that. Nah. Why? But you're going to sit around and take it for free. Why? Because people want the most that they can get for free. I charge $250 an hour. I charge $97 for my live workshops that you do 8 hours with me. People pay it. I know I can get paid for this information. But the reason that most of you won't is because you'd rather get it for free, okay? I'm not trying to guilt trip you. I'm trying to make a point. My stuff is good either way. It's going to be good if you pay me, or if I don't, it's going to be good. But you're going to miss out because you might have the limitation, I don't want to work for anything. I don't want to come out my coins. I'd rather spend my coins on DoorDash than invest in healing and invest in therapy and invest in coaching, because maybe you've been hurt in the past. You bought somebody's course who they use ChatGPT. You're like, this BS PDF, I just paid $97 for this. Man, my kid could have written this, right? So you've been hurt. So now you have fear. You have all these things. But at the end of the day, you don't want to take the risk. Whether the risk is your money, whether the risk is your time, whether the risk is your ego might being hurt. Most people want what they want without the risk, without the work, without the labor. Okay? So before I talk about men, we're going to set the tone so you can feel humble. This is not a man problem. This is a human problem, but we're going to talk about how it affects men specifically in dating. Okay? All right. Men want what you have. This is why I started out by saying, women, you just don't know who you are. The issue is not the gold bar. The issue is that the gold bar doesn't know it's a gold bar. The issue is not the diamond ring. The issue is that the diamond ring doesn't know it's 4 carats. And they don't know that 4 carats equals X thousands of dollars. Okay? The issue is not the Maserati. It's that the person who has the Maserati doesn't know what it's worth. Okay? Men will take from you what you're willing to give. Now, what does a woman have? And don't say sex, because that's obvious, right? We know there's sex, okay? You provide comfort. What feminine provides is intangible. Masculine men, real masculine men, the ones with big balls, they're not checking for your income, okay? So all the women who are like, oh my God, he's not impressed with my degree. You don't want him to be impressed by your degree and your money. That's very feminine of him. You do not want a girly man, okay? Your ego is telling you he should respect no, masculine is not attracted to provision. So if you want a masculine man, don't lead with your provision. Stop thinking that he should respect, that should be a sniff test. If he's oh, you make this much money and your car's paid off, that's a gold digging man. Why would you want that? That's ew, gross, right? You want to baby him? You want to be the mom in the relationship? Then yes, you get a man who's, oh my God, you have a doctorate degree. No. You want a man who thinks that you are the bee's knees because you're breathing. You want a man who thinks that you're phenomenal because of your energy. The intangible things are what the feminine wants to be valued for. It is distortion. It is because of society that has convinced you that men are better than you, that you think you need to be like men. That is a lie from the pit of hell. Men are phenomenal. You don't need to be one. They got that. They got the masculine. You don't need to. You are just a girl. You are just a girl. You better relax and be just a girl. You are breathing and living, and that is all that they need. Living and breathing, that's all that they need. Some men are like, you don't even have to speak. We're happy. It's said in a negative way, right? Like we could be mute and they would find us valuable. We could literally be deaf, dumb, and blind and they would find us useful. Do you hear what I'm saying? I'm preaching real good. And I don't know if it's going over some people's heads. Listen to what I am saying. The way that the masculine is wired, that we could be deaf, dumb. Dumb means speechless, by the way. This is old English. No, I'm not saying dumb. Okay. Dumb, blind, and they would still line up to be with us. The problem isn't that men don't value women. The problem is you don't know your value. Because when you mess around and know your value, change your prices. I had someone tell me that my price of $97 was too much. Man, that's $13 an hour. I'm giving you 8 hours of my Saturday. I've never done Saturdays in 11 years. I came out of retirement. I don't even do live coaching. I came out of retirement. I'm doing it on a Saturday because I felt like I wanted to give. And I'm doing it for $13 an hour. Child, you can't hire me for $13 an hour. But to that person, that's a lot. It's all relative. I know my worth. I know my worth. The problem is a lot of you don't know your worth, so you don't charge it. You feel bad because a lot of men don't have that money. A lot of men can't pay the bill. So instead of you going, that's not my target client, that's not my avatar, you go, let me adjust my prices. Oh, no, because my bills still need to be paid. I'm not going to do coaching for free. I live in the real, groceries cost money. The grocery store doesn't say, oh, well, you don't have money, so let me just give you the groceries. That's not how it works. We live in the real world. Now, do I do charity? Absolutely, yes. I do charity. I have sponsorships. Yes. I'm not evil, right? Like a lawyer does pro bono. Yes, I do that stuff. But my day-to-day, no. I spend hours on my craft. Do you know how much time I spend before God in prayer? Do you know how much I read my word every day to make sure that I have an ear to hear from him? Do you understand? I have not taken any psychology degrees, but yet I have people who are trained 20 years in the field hiring me, talking about you have an anointing. The fact that you know this, Bishop R.C. Blakes, who so many people look up to, is like, you have an uncanny understanding of men. This is not to toot my horn. This is because I'm staying close to God. The Bible says that the prophet is due, like he can get his, you know what I'm saying? Like let him eat. If he's cooking, let him eat. But I digress. So a lot of women don't know their value. They don't realize you can be deaf, dumb, and blind. Deaf, mute, and blind. I should say mute because someone will take that out of context. Deaf, mute, and blind. Men would still want you. You think it's because you have degrees and you have money and you have cars. No, that's your ego trying to be like men. But we used to be on a pedestal, so you actually went down to become like men because men put you on a pedestal, and then the world told you to come down to their level, so now you're equal. How did that make sense? Because we used to be worshipped. Men would walk in and stand when a woman came in. He would take off his hat when she came in. He would stop using profanity when she came in. He would open the doors for her when he came in. He would pay for things when she came in. They would give up their seats on the bus when they came in. They would actually give up their life for a woman. But y'all were listening to this new age sexual revolution. Oh, we need to be free. You need to be equal to men. We need to be equal to men. We need to be able to bust our balls and sweat like men. We need to be able to have to be out and work and leave our brand new babies just like men. No. Why do we need to be like men? Why? ¿Por qué? Why? Because the world doesn't understand the way that you are wired. We are wired to be yin and yang, not in competition. It's not past the salt and salt. It's not past the pepper and pepper. Pass the salt and the pepper because the two go together, baby. Complement light and dark, black and white. I'm black and white. I'm a pretty good mixture. Okay? My white mom came with my black daddy, and I think I came out pretty great. Look, it's complementary. Complementary. I got the thickness from my dad's side and the texture from my mom that makes it easier to brush. I'm saying complementary. Complementary. Now, I could have done with a little more pigment, guy, take a little more of my dad's chocolate, but I'm just saying. Complementary. It's not supposed to compete. It's supposed to complement so that we can complete. And y'all are out here trying to be like men. Ladies, the men themselves know you are valuable. That's why he says, I know you deserve better. I know I'm going to hurt you. Why? Because they know you're a goddess. They know you're a goddess. They know this. They know this. They won't tell you this, though. Because if you mess around and find out you're a goddess, you are going to raise your prices. If I sell my engagement ring at a yard sale because I think it's cubic zirconium and I put it out for $5, nobody is going to come to me and say, excuse me, did you mean to put this 4 carat ring on the table for $5? Um, this is actually perfect cotton clarity. You would actually get about, no one's doing that. Baby, they are going to pay that $5. And there was a TikTok live, and the lady said that there was a glitch in the system and the price was messed up. They left a decimal off. They were off a decimal. So instead of like 190, it was like $19. And she was like, you better check out. She's like, the people don't wonder how they sold out so fast. She's like, you better check out. She was not stopping the live. She getting commission. She's not going to stop the live, call the company, be like, oh, your decimal's off when you put the number in TikTok shop. No, girl, she said, get your. She said they're actually they're actually losing money on sales because the shipping was like $19 and people were getting a product for $19 and no shipping. Okay, but I'm making making my point. Men know that you are divine. Men know that your value is intangible, but don't listen to the men talk about, what are you going to do for me? I'm going to walk away. That's what I'm going to do for you because you're going to be insulted if I actually say what I want to say. Any man who has to ask a woman what she brings to the table, he just told you he's not masculine. He just told you he's not masculine. Because a masculine man sticks around and finds out. You gonna take my little rehearsed speech? Oh, what I bring to the table is that, what is this, a test? We're not in school. My guy, come on. Have some discernment. Stick around for 5 minutes, you're gonna find out. That business advice I gave you, three extra income. That information I shared about your kids, now your baby mama don't hate you anymore. I'm sorry, what was that? I'll wait. You don't know what my value is? Oh, no, we're not. No, I'm a better pay grade, baby. Let me go and take my goddess energy somewhere else. I calm your nervous system. Okay, here's the thing. We provide comfort. Just knowing that we are there, comfort. We provide ego boost to men. They feel wanted. Ego boost, intangible. Comfort, intangible. Emotional support when he's low. Do you know that a woman can either breathe life into them with their words, or she could tear him down like the Twin Towers just from her words? Oh, you so stupid. That's why your mama don't fool with you. You could chop him in. A 6'5" man, chop him to his knees. Or, oops, yeah, you looking like a snack. I don't even want you to go on the streets. Why don't you work from home, baby? Lift him up. You could chop a 6'5" man down to his knees with your words, or you could lift up a 4'11" man to make him feel like he is Paul Bunyan. Power of life and death in your tongue. When he is lonely, affection. You give him affection. Do you know men say there is the most sacred space? You might not even know it. It's on your thighs. When a man can rest his head on a woman's thighs, they don't have to be talking. They don't have to be doing anything. He's just laying his head on your thighs. They said that it is a place of nirvana that you don't understand. The serenity, being in the feminine presence where the outside world is not coming down on him for a second. He gets just a little reprieve. He gets a moment to just let his hair down, and you show up and you're a safe space and you don't weaponize his vulnerability and you just allow him to exist. You allow him to tap into that little feminine part of him that he has been repressing, and it feels amazing, because without the feminine, a man is a lifeless robot. Listen to what I'm saying. Without the feminine, the man is a lifeless robot. Without the feminine, a man is a machine. Without the feminine, life is black and white. You ever see the movie Pleasantville? Without the feminine, life is black and white. You just brought in fuchsia and chartreuse and red and coral and turquoise. And you ever just see the sunset or an ocean? Oh my God, you're just so moved. You could almost cry. It's just beautiful. Imagine life without that. That's what it's like being masculine. In a world where the feminine parts of him are considered gay, inappropriate, unacceptable, a lot of men repress. He can't see a beautiful sunset and cry. That's gay. He can't express his feelings, baby. I really want you. That's gay. No, you man up. You just get another woman. Men are taught in our society to repress the feminine part of them. Even the word feminine, like, ew, I don't feel. Yes, sir, you do. We have masculine energy and feminine energy. It's energy. It's not a genitalia. It's not a sexual preference. It's energy. Feminine receives, masculine is directional. Okay? Masculine is the vase, feminine is the water that takes up the space. Masculine provides the space, the feminine takes up the space. Okay? Masculine is black and white, feminine is the color. Masculine does, feminine feels. Masculine thinks, feminine feels. Okay? We are the yin and the yang, and when we come together, we complement in the black and the white. We don't need to compete, we need to complete. So these men who have been suppressing and suppressing and suppressing and suppressing their feminine, when they're around the feminine and she's safe, they will pay any price. Literally any price. The Bible even says it's better to be on the housetop with a brawling woman because the opposite is true. There is nothing in the world like being around a safe feminine energy. When he's bored, we give him attention. When he's lonely, we give him affection. When he's low, we give him emotional support. When he doesn't feel wanted, we stroke his ego. When he feels alone, he knows we're there. That is priceless. Now, where are we going with this, Yancy? This is great, but where are we going with this? We're talking about why you always end up loving men more than they love you. Let me explain. What did I say? People want to get something for free and not work for it. If it costs a lot, they don't want it. Okay? A lot of people could really be wealthy, but they don't want to invest in themselves. They don't want to do the work. They don't want to read books. They don't want to learn from a trial and error. Okay? It's not that they can't get wealthy. They don't want to do the work. Here's the thing. Most men want all the yumminess. Comment yumminess, because we're yummy. They want the yumminess of the divine feminine, but they don't want the accountability and responsibility of a relationship. I'm going to compare men and women with puppies and puppy owners, okay? Just for the sake of comparison, okay? If you want a puppy, you don't expect anything from the puppy. What you want from the puppy is intangible. You want their energy. You want their cuteness. You want when you walk in there, they're excited, right? You don't need anything tangible from them. You don't need them to do your taxes. You don't need them to open the door for you. I mean, the only thing tangible maybe is like you want them to protect you if they're a big dog, right? But let's say a little cute dog. You don't need anything. They are literally a liability. Okay, they might tear up your furniture. You gotta walk them. You gotta get up in the middle of the night when they have to pee. You gotta potty train them. They might shed. They're a liability. Their breath stinks. You gotta take them to the vet if they catch something at the dog park. Right? Liability, but it's worth it. Why? Because you value their energy. But if somebody said to you, I will give you this precious little puppy, one, you don't have to pay thousands of dollars for him. I will spray, neuter, will take care of him. I'll take him to the vet whenever you need to the vet. I'll brush his teeth whenever he needs to be walked, whenever he needs to poop picked up. I'll do all that stuff. All you do is you just hug him, pet him, and you get attention when you take him on walks. That's it. Everything else, I got it. You would take that. That's why a lot of you are like, I'm the auntie because I can drop those kids back out. You want the joy of the little baby without the responsibility. Now, remember, I told you it's going to suck, ladies. It's going to sting, but there's power. Here's the power. If you were part of the problem, you were part of the. If you're part of the problem, that means you could also be part of the solution. Ready? Stop offering the puppy to the man who's not willing to pick up the poop. If he shows you he's not willing to brush the dog's teeth, take it to the vet, walk it, feed it, buy the food, get its water, stop giving them the puppy. What you're doing is saying, maybe if the puppy is cute enough, maybe if the puppy is lovable enough, maybe if the puppy is around long enough, it'll get emotionally attached. That's not how human nature is in a man. That's not how the masculine nature is wired. When it comes to relationships, men do not fall in love by proximity. Men do not fall in love by attractiveness. Men do not fall in love with emotions. There's one word that makes a man fall in love. And it's the top thing on their list that they want to receive from you. Let's see who can guess it. If you said, is the puppy the only thing women can offer, then you completely missed the analogy. The puppy represents all that a woman offers. You guys got it. It's respect. Men do not fall in love because she's pretty and she has a good personality. He falls in love when she's pretty, has good personality, and he respects her. If he only thinks she's pretty and he only thinks she has a good personality, he will enter into a situationship. Why? Because just like owning a puppy, a relationship is very, very expensive. It's literally expensive. It is emotionally expensive. Men are not wired for all that emotion. And it's a liability. Why? Because the man is the one holding the bag. A man has to stand before God himself and account for how he ran his house. It goes God, man, woman, child. The man is the roof. He is the one that takes the beating of the rain and elements. The woman is inside, and under the woman is the kids, and he has to answer for it. Let's go natural, physically. If you are walking down the street and somebody comes up to mug you, no one is looking at you to defend yourself. You will actually your man will get ripped to shreds if you are the one to defend yourself. There's a video that went viral where a lady was getting robbed and her man legitimately ran, okay? A man in a relationship is expected to literally, if it comes down to it, lay down his very life. The Bible says there's no greater love than that you lay down your life for someone. The Bible says, love women like Christ loved the church. What did he do? He was crucified. Literally, I don't care if you believe in God or not. Literally, a man in our society, in every society, a man has been expected to lay down his life if it came down to it. They are expected to do the gross stuff, kill bugs. They're expected to lift the heavy things, suitcases, carry. They're expected to do the inconvenient, right? Uncomfortable. If it's raining, drop you off at the door. Open the car door. You get the gas. They are expected to do the heavy lifting. And when a man does it right, we rest in our feminine. What is the word? We rest in our feminine. I'm just a girl, passenger princess. Do you hear what I'm saying? It is a cross to bear being in a relationship. It is a burden being in a relationship unless one thing happens. Why would anyone want to be in a relationship then? Why would anyone want to get a puppy? For the same reason. It is no longer a burden when there's joy on the other side. When attached to that tether is joy, it is not a burden. It's a responsibility, but it's not a burden. When that little puppy comes in, all that money you spent, you don't think about that money. When that baby is laid on your chest, you don't think about how your hoo-ha got ripped open and you had to get stitches and you pooped on the table. You're not thinking about none of that because that little baby with the widow thought. When joy, God knew what he was doing. When joy is attached, the person bearing the brunt of the responsibility, they don't care. Nose is wide open. That's my baby. You just bought your dog another. Yes, I did. You got him another. Yes, I did. You have a stroke. Yes, I do. You take that dog on the trip. Yes, I do. It's not a burden. Why? Look at that little face. You, as the feminine, have never been taught who you are and your value. Therefore, you keep lowering your price for men who can't afford it. And then those men who maybe would have earned enough money, they're not even incentivized to pay the price and work more to get that because you don't understand male psychology. So you do the very thing that makes you less and less lovable in their eyes. You are a Ferrari acting like you are a tinker, like a beat down clunker. You are giving all of your feminine, yummy, yummy goodness to a man who can't so much as send you a text. You are spreading your thighs and chemically getting bonded to, because yes, oxytocin is a real thing. Same thing when you have childbirth, same thing when you breastfeed. God designed you so that you bond to. That way you have like superhuman strength if something happens and you don't play about your kids because you're bonded psychotically. Like psychotically. Mama bear is a term for a reason. You are psychotically bonded to that baby. And they wonder why they come. They wonder why women are keying cars, but I'm not condoning. I'm not condoning. CNN ticker. I am not. Dating coach is not condoning violence. I'm saying you take the crazy chemical and wonder why they act crazy because you've bonded. You're giving him your body, you're giving him your energy, you're pouring into him your emotions. And guess what you said at the beginning? You are physically suffering. You're having anxiety, you're having nausea, you're having diarrhea, your hair is falling out. And guess what? You get to be called crazy on top of that. You're overreacting, you're putting too much on. I told you I didn't want a relationship. Look at her. She's spiraling for no reason. I always get these crazy women. I don't know why they act like this. There's no common denominator. All these women are just so crazy. Are they, buddy? I mean, all I did was act like I was her boyfriend and didn't give her boyfriend title. And I just, acted like I was married to her and had kids by her and benefited from all of her wisdom and love and femininity. And, she healed my soul, but I don't know what the problem is. She gave until she had nothing left. She couldn't even take care of our kids because I sucked the very living, breathing life out of her. But I don't understand what the problem is. What's the big deal? Like, what are we talking about here? And I'm going to address this comment because I get it every time. Somebody said, "Are you even married?" Someone said, "Are you even married?" And I'm gonna go out on a limb. The reason people say stuff like that is because they're trying to discredit. They are trying to discredit anybody in the dating space. When somebody is asked, "Are you even married?" They are trying to discredit because what they're saying is, if you actually know what you're talking about, you would actually have a man. And I'm going to go there. I got time. I got time. I got time. It requires a man to be eligible. It requires a man to be qualified. The more divine a woman is, the less options she has. So let me answer your question. But I'm saying this because somebody could be single without even a man, not a man in sight, and they could still have wisdom. If you read the Bible, God uses a donkey at one point, a hee-haw, like a donkey. Don't get caught up by the messenger. Listen to the message. And don't just take the message because it makes you feel good. Take it to the word of God and see if it lines up. Because whether I am married, single, divorced, truth is truth. And it will set you free. So let me tell you this. I've had two men propose to me. I've had multiple men want to marry me. I walked away from my marriage that took place in 2003. After 12 years, he is my friend now, so I can talk about this because there was a lot of trauma from my childhood and it pushed him past his breaking point. I had a one percenter, former athlete, 6'3", body of a god, mind like Solomon. Don't come for me. And I'm not trying to be nasty. I'm saying this because the spirit is not okay. I will not tolerate the spirit of division because there's a way someone can ask a question that is not in a condescending manner. And a lot of times, yes, wisdom comes from experience. You want to know something? I did not become a dating coach because I wanted to be a dating coach. I am a dating coach because my brand is Chasing Yancey. What is Chasing Yancey? When I failed at my marriage, I said, I want to press towards the highest calling into Christ Jesus and chase the highest version of me in Christ and let me learn from my mistakes. And I came on humbly. And I started asking men, why do you do what you do? And I actually got bullied into being in this position. I fought it because I had imposters. I don't know this stuff. Why are you pushing me to the front of the class? I'm in the class with you. I'm sitting at the desk. What are we doing here? The class that I'm teaching right now on Saturdays, God had me teach it while I'm going through. Oh, I'm going to have you teach women who are going through emotional wounds while you're teaching it. And that's my joke with the class. Whatever I'm teaching you Saturday means I went through it for the last 7 days. I'm crying with you. I'm crying with you every Saturday. Do you understand that somebody who has the emotional scars, the emotional trauma, somebody who has gone through a cult, somebody who has gone through perversion of Jesus, somebody who has gone through abuse, somebody who has gone through emotional neglect, somebody who has gone through being stonewalled, do you understand they will empathize with you on a level that somebody who has taken 15,000 degrees in psychology will never empathize. So if you ask if I'm even married, it is irrelevant. I'm married to God. And through my weakness, he is made strong. In my ignorance, his wisdom is revealed. And whether or not a man is qualified to stand next to me, whether or not I deserve a man, if I'm not married yet, it's because my God says my girl has some more work to do. But if I'm saying something that's not true, let's talk about that. Now, I'm going to invite you, if you have been unable to walk away from a man that you know is not treating you right. I'm not even going to say he's not your man. You know he is not treating you right. I want you to comment the word me. If you are embarrassed, but you are honest, you cannot walk away. In your own strength, you cannot walk away. If that is you, I want to invite you to my workshop. I don't know how long I'm going to do it. I'm being honest because Saturday is rough doing Saturday. I've never done Saturdays. And I saved it on YouTube. I was led to save it on YouTube. So you can, it's on YouTube, the same title, Why You Always End Up Loving Men More Than They Love You. Okay. If you feel led to join me on my Saturday workshops, here's how it works. Okay. You come to the Saturday workshops, it's live. You're gonna get 8 hours a month because there's usually 4 Saturdays in a month. You're gonna get 2 hours at a time. It's on Zoom. It's real, it's raw. Y'all got a whole 2 hours or whatever. This is my personality. I'm a little more silly because I'm not being recorded, okay, on Saturdays, but this is my personality. I don't play about the scriptures. I will not share something with you that does not go with the scriptures because I have tested God. I know he is real. I don't play about God. I don't play about God. And he has the most wisdom of anyone I've ever encountered. And I've never been led wrong. I have only been blessed spiritually, emotionally, physically. So I cannot tell you anything that does not go with scripture. That's one. Secondly, so you get 2 hours with me, and the 2 hours we unpack what you're going through that week. Okay. Now, I have weekly lessons that literally walk you through healing your emotional wounds. The reason you cannot walk away is because you are looking for your identity. You are looking for love in all the wrong places. It is until you get reconnected to your Heavenly Father that will heal your daddy wounds. Once your daddy wounds are healed, you are now the most radiant version of yourself, and that radiant version of yourself will send out a bat signal to men. And now you're going to have the discernment to pick the one that's right. Okay. So those of you who are not looking for a quick fix, because it's not a quick fix. That's like you saying, I have a broken leg and I want a doctor who's going to fix it tomorrow. They're lying if they tell you you're going to fix it tomorrow, unless their name is Jesus. Okay. And that's the only doctor who can fix it tomorrow. But if you live in the earthly realm, like me, then you are going to need to address your spiritual wounds, because you're a spirit having a human experience. You're going to have to address your spiritual wound with spiritual gauze, spiritual dressing, spiritual surgery, spiritual healing. Okay? And this isn't some, like, right? Okay, I know the numbers are dropping. I don't care if you have never touched a Bible in your life. You are going to understand everything that's being taught. Because I am not religious. I'm actually anti-religious. I'm actually angry at religious people. Angry. Because they have turned away so many people. They have hardened so many people's hearts towards God because they have depicted God in the most fraudulent way. I would rather you grow up almost under somebody practicing witchcraft than somebody who is perverting Christianity. I said almost. Okay. Because what it does is you teach people subconsciously, not just what love means, but who God is. And a lot of you have an impression of God that he is judgmental and he is angry and he is just waiting for you to slip up so he could throw you into hell. That could not be further from the truth. He is the most kind, loving, gentle, patient, long-suffering. My God, my God, my God. When you get in his presence and you actually experience him, especially as a Christian, you're like, whoa, that's not what I was taught. Oh, Jesus wasn't a wimp. Oh, Jesus was forgiven. Oh, this is not an excuse to judge people and act like I'm better than you because you do this sin, but I only do this sin. When you actually get in his presence, you are going to be the biggest baby. You're going to be bawling because for the first time, your soul is going to be held. You think it feels going to be spooned in the spirit realm when you are held by the Creator, your Creator. There are no words. The world could be exploding in a ball of fire, and you're going to be like, I call it anesthesia. Like, this world is painful. I don't know how anybody does it without God's anesthesia. He gives me my injection every day, every day, every day. Sometimes he wakes me up at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. Why do you think I'm up right now? Okay. And give me a little injection. Because why? So that I don't return ugly with ugly. So that I can forgive and forgive and forgive. And when somebody says something on the live stream, I can understand where this is coming from. Okay, he was triggered. He's not an evil person. Okay, maybe she's calling you out about marriage because she's scared to believe this could be true. She's scared. Maybe she believes that maybe somebody misused her, did her wrong. They sold her a course that didn't work, or, she's tired of people teaching something they don't know. God will give you a heart after him. He will change you. And the only way we can ever have relationships that are healthy and end the gender war is if men heal their spiritual wounds and figure out why they want all the yumminess of the feminine without the responsibility. And if the women can heal their emotional wounds, allow God to heal their emotional wounds to why they keep giving their yummy to somebody who doesn't deserve it, then the men will start paying for what they want, and the women will start responding to the appropriate gestures. Then you raise babies in a healthy home who grew up seeing love is not conditional, love is sacrificial, love is long-suffering. Daddy waited 3 years to have sex with mommy because he knew she was a goddess. She's divinely feminine, and I would not dare to even look at her naked body. I'm not going to lust after her because she's not a cheap piece of meat. And my mommy knows she is a design of God. She doesn't need to prostrate herself. She doesn't need to pimp herself out. She doesn't need to prostitute herself to get a man to love her. She don't got to flash him to get some Mardi Gras beads. It is only through doing it God's way because he made us. He wired our nervous system. Y'all minds are going to be blown when you learn the stuff that God gave to me. It's not my intellect. I wake up and he just gives it to me. I put it on this lesson. This is stuff that God has given me, and it has set me free. I had anxiety. I had clinical depression. I had these type of thoughts. I was down bad. Every relationship, I had anxiety. Every relationship, I was terrified they were going to leave me. I had abandonment issues. Men thought I was controlling because why? I didn't feel safe. So I felt like I had to control everything to make myself feel safe. Well, guess what? That runs men off. I think you're gonna leave me, so I control. Will you leave me? Because I control. Like, you see, it's a vicious cycle. I want it off. And so I want to share with you what he has taught me. Those of you who want to work with me directly, you can DM me. You're going to hit this little yellow arrow and DM me the word freedom, and it will show you the information for my course, my workshop. It's live right now. I don't know how long I'm going to do it live. As it is, I'm losing my voice talking to y'all tonight. I don't know how long we do it for my Saturdays. But if you feel led, like this is serious, I need this immediately, sign up, do it now. Okay? It's not free. Somebody said, oh, your prices are too high. No, I labored. I labored. Now, if you literally cannot afford it, like it, don't be spending the same exact dollar amount on DoorDash. Don't. I'm a child of God, so I will discern if you are full of it. Do not spend $1,000 booking a cruise and then talk about I can't pay $97. Okay, don't do that. Don't do that. There really are some women who are facing homelessness. There are some women living in their cars. There are some women who are calling homeless shelters right now. Those are the people I'm talking about. If you have a roof over your head, you have money to go buy McDonald's. That's your litmus test. If you have purchased McDonald's in the last month, don't even ask for the scholarship, please. I'm not trying to be funny. I mean, so serious, because people will take advantage of my generosity and my sponsors' generosity. If you can afford the $97, sign up. Do 1 month. Do 1 month. It's $97 a month. Do 1 month. I dare you to do it. You will get instant access to all of the lessons. Right now, there are 7 lessons that have already been recorded. Okay, so each week you get a lesson. You can binge on it right now. If you want to like just start binging, you can binge. And then you do the 4 classes. The 4 classes are live, so you get to the workshops. It's group coaching. Whoever feels the need to speak, they speak, and we all benefit. We all benefit. Even if one person's talking, we're all getting something from it. And so if you want to join us, I'm starting what I feel is, I was calling it a revolution, but this is actually going to be a revival. If enough women wake up and they heal, guess what they're going to do? They're going to start to stand up. And when they stand up, guess what they're going to do? They're going to grab the bar and they're going to bring it up. We as women, we collectively hold the bar. As women, there's mankind and womankind. Womankind holds the bar. Men have never held the bar. Men's hands are not on the bar. All they do is do the limbo under the bar. Men have never touched the bar. They can't touch the bar. We hold the bar. So if the women, if my people who are called by my name will turn from their wicked ways, okay, then I will hear them. Yes, it's absolutely for marriage advice too. It all goes together, okay? If the ladies will start to go on their healing journey, this is a vision I had the other day and I wrote it down. If the women start healing, they start leveling up, the bar gets raised, there will be a full-on male loneliness epidemic for real. And guess what? Soft times make for soft men, but difficult times make for strong men. Guess what? Let's turn up the heat, baby. Let's make it difficult. Let's set up an obstacle course. Let's make sure that we are at the top of the staircase. Let's make sure we are at the top of the tallest tree. Let's make sure that we are all on the top of Mount Everest, and let those men climb. They are built for it tough, so don't feel bad. Men are masculinely wired to want to climb the mountain. They only lose respect for you when you start descending down the mountain and hanging out in the valley because you're like, but there's a lot of men down here. I don't, there's a lot of losers down there. I'm sorry. I'm not calling men losers. I'm saying there are literally losers down there. Who are the winners? The ones who climb the mountain. So if you want a winner, you got to stay at the top of the mountain. Do you get what I'm saying? But why don't you stay at the top of the mountain? Because you're lonely. Why are you lonely? Because you have a spiritual wound. So what do? You come to my workshop. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm not saying something new. I'm just actually finally giving you a tool. Men cannot love you if they don't respect you. Men will not respect you if they don't climb up the mountain. You can't stay on the top of the mountain if you're lonely. The only way to not be lonely and still stay at the top of the mountain is to be at the top of the mountain with God. Did I break it down? Now, here's the sad truth, and then I'm going to let you go. The overwhelming majority of women come on my live streams. The overwhelming majority of women go, oh my goodness, I'm blown away. They have brain matter all over the wall. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. This all makes sense. I get it now. I get it now. I get it now. I get it now. Thank you for the compliment. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And they'll hit that button. They'll ask for the link. They'll read the information I clearly stated in my live stream. And guess what? They go about their way. Because why? What did I say at the beginning? People want stuff that they value, but they don't want to have to work for it. So don't be a hypocrite. If you were clicking your tongue about the men wanting all your goodies for free and not wanting to work and not, now that's a lifetime, like they got to pay your bills. They got to pay your bills for a lifetime and literally risk their lives. But you're saying that's for you. But you're saying for yourself, you're not even worth $97. All I ask is don't be a hypocrite. Don't you dare judge a man if you aren't even willing to come out of your pocket $97 for yourself, but you want a man to die for you. That's all I got to say. God bless you. If you missed your opportunity to while live, grab my course, go to my bio. It's on all my platforms. Click the link in my bio. It's called Dating from Wholeness. I will see you on Saturday, those of you who sign up. God bless you. Have a good night. For you guys on YouTube, the link is in the description.